Teacher squares off with a youngster at school. Let's get to it. Hello everybody, my name is Nate Patterson and welcome to Voice. Today on Voice we're going to cover, I think, two topics. One, the Massachusetts DPW, and another post that came off of Facebook that is gaining some traction. I want to address that because there have been similar posts previously that came before that sparked controversy. So we're going to discuss those two topics today on Voice. First one, Massachusetts DPW. Okay, here's the thing, right? Summer's over, but when the summer began, so did the construction begin around the city, right? I live on Pine Street in Springfield, and they were digging up Pine Street all summer long, okay? So here's the thing. I'm walking down Pine Street, and I get to a point where there's a machinery on the sidewalk.
This is where I gotta walk. You see this? You see all this traffic? This is where the walk, because these cranes on the sidewalk. This is with all the kids. Look at the school bus. All the kids go to school. One lady just had to go in the street. While these got this shit on the goddamn sidewalk. Ignore me all you want. You better have a fucking permit.
Not in the street. They don't have the street blocked off. They got the machinery, tractor, trucks and whatnot, you know, contractors' cars. They're all parked on the sidewalk on Pine Street, right? So I'm walking down the street, and there's a cop there, right? There's a cop right there in the middle of the street, I guess for safety, because there's very little through traffic. But there is through traffic. Now, you keep that in mind. There's through traffic, okay? So I'm walking down the street, and as I get closer and closer to this big machine on the sidewalk, and then I look down, you know, past the machine, beyond it, and I see the contractors got their cars parked halfway on the sidewalk and whatnot. They leave about this much space for pedestrians to squeeze through, okay? So I'm walking down there. Now, I got an issue with the machine on the sidewalk, right? I take out my camera. I take out my, my phone camera, and I start taking pictures. And I'm describing the scene, and I'm not really nice because I'm heated. Because right now, my safety was not considered. I have to walk in the street out into traffic to get around this vehicle that's maintenance in this building. Okay? That these people, they didn't seem to think that, how can I say this? Because I'm starting to get heated, right? And when I get heated, I start to talk all mumbled and jumbled. Okay? Here's the thing. When you have a construction site, okay, if you are allowing through traffic, I told you to hang on to through traffic, right? If you are allowing through traffic, you have to make a safe passage for the traffic to pass, okay? In essence, you can't block the sidewalk and tell people to go out in the street to get by. That's illegal, right? I called down to the DPW, or after I called the Springfield Police non-emergency number, to find out if these guys had some type of permit that they were to block off the street, because the street wasn't blocked off, right? I was walking through. So if you got this big crane sitting on the sidewalk where I'm supposed to walk, where pedestrians are supposed to walk, right? Then, I mean, you need to have a safe passage, okay? So the cop comes over, you know what I mean, after he sees me taking pictures, right? He comes over, he says, I'll walk you around. I said, I don't need nobody to walk me around. What I need for you to do is to tell them to remove the crane from the sidewalk, right? So the cop looked at me like, you know, he gave me the look like, okay, here's a smart ass, right? But he didn't know the half of it, did he? So he started to debate whether or not the conditions were safe. He started to debate, or rather make excuses, right, that these contractors, you know, they got all this work to do and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. So I looked at him point blank and told him, I don't want to hear that. I said, because mothers walk their kids to school every morning down this street. And then they come back in the afternoon, right? I said, and then during the course of the day, they walk up and down the street all day long because not everybody is in school, right? I said, but when they come to this point, they have to go on the street with their carriages and with their kids to get by this vehicle because this contractor was lazy and inconsiderate. And he wouldn't move the tractor, right? Put the tractor in the street where it belongs. Okay, I walked further down the street after I got tired of talking to the cop, right? Because it was going nowhere. He was trying to make mockery of me, and I was getting upset. I was getting ready to be a YouTube video, right? So I had to get on my way, right? So when I got to the contractor's truck, parked so far on the curb, halfway on the curb, that I had to literally squeeze past to get by. I had enough, man. I blew. Right? I punched his truck, boom, made a big sound, right? And then I took my camera out, my phone camera, and I started shooting his license plate. So here comes a cop. Here he comes again. Oh, come on, buddy, relax. Hey, relax. I said, you relax and do your job. I said, in what world is parking on the street permitted? Well, they didn't have nowhere else to park, and he was in a hurry. I said, I don't care what kind of hurry he was, and I pointed right across the street to a vacant open lot. I said he couldn't park his truck there. They can't park their machines and whatnot there. I said, you just have to park on the street. I said, in what world is that permitted, officer? I said, I got video. I said, should I take video of you telling me not, to calm down and this guy ran to the store and he'll be back and all that? I said, I just bumped my shoulder and hurt my shoulder. I said, don't I have grounds to sue this guy now? Because he's not supposed to be here. Of course, the cop, just relax. I'll have him move as soon as he gets back, blah, 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 blah. So I went on about my way. Here's the thing, right? This has been happening all summer long, all around our city, especially in our neighborhoods. And I noticed that. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like when they come to our neighborhoods, right? They just do anything. Cars parked on the sidewalk. We have to walk around the cars on, their vehicles on the sidewalk, this, that, and the other. Why would the DPW do that? Let me digress back to the first situation with the crane on the sidewalk. They didn't have a permit for that. After I called the non-emergency police number and I found out that they didn't have a permit for that, right? They had to move it. They don't like me very much right now, whoever that contracting company was. And I particularly could care less, okay? I could care less who they like. Because if you come into our neighborhood and you got to do business, fine, you got to do your business. If the construction is such that you have to park your cars and whatnot on the sidewalks, then you need to rope off the whole construction area and close it down to through traffic because there is no safe passage. Safe passage is not me walking in the street to get around your crane or your car or your truck or whatever it is blocking the safe passage, the sidewalk where I have to walk. Right? It's just being considerate. That's all it is. It's just being considerate, man. These guys come in our neighborhood, they're not considerate. You know what I mean? They don't care whether or not our kids have safe passage through the area that they're working. They only care about getting their job done, getting their money, and then getting out. You know what I mean? And then when we walk up and down the street, they look at us in judgment and, say a few words, this, that, and the other. Laughing. Right? I mean, ignorance, it just knows no bounds sometimes in people. I came across a construction site where the corner was such like, there's a corner going this way and then there's one meeting this way, right? Then you had, the crosswalkers out there. Well, somebody had parked their car right here. And then this big idiot, okay, this big construction DPS worker, whatever the world he was, he parks a big-ass crane right behind this car. And the behind of the crane is sitting smack dab in the middle of the crosswalk. So, what do you think I did? Excuse me, officer, can I talk to you for a minute? At what point does this become a safety hazard, sir? Oh, don't worry about it. I'm here to cross you. I said, what if you wasn't? What if I was coming from the other direction and you didn't see me? I said, because I can't see the other oncoming traffic around this tractor, right? So therefore, this lazy construction worker has just increased the danger in this construction zone, being lazy and inconsiderate. laughing. Oh, come on, relax. You know, they're great guys. I said, I don't care how great the guys are. I care about the safety of the people in this neighborhood. And he has to move this. Well, this is a construction site. And he started yelling, you know, he started saying all this stuff about what they can do and what they're exempt from in the construction site. So what he was saying was that this guy that parked this tractor in the middle of the crosswalk was exempt. Cop almost had me until I just started thinking logically, right? They're not exempt from the law. And the law states that the crosswalk has to be free of any type of obstruction so that pedestrians can have the safe passage, because that's our safe passage across the street, right? If you want to claim full exemption to any of those rules, right, as a construction worker, what you have to do is rope off and close down the whole site as a construction site. Therefore, no through traffic can pass through, right? Therefore, if no through traffic can pass through, right, then nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's going through to get hurt. But once you allow through traffic, through the construction site, it is incumbent upon you to make sure that those people going through that site have safe passage, right? And when I ran that to the cop, immediately had the man move the tractor, right? I felt like one of those white guys on YouTube that got stopped by the cop but knew their rights, right? I mean, I was walking right, yeah, that's right. You move the tractor, doggone it. You know what I mean? But look, I mean, I make a joke about it and whatnot, but this is serious stuff, because you walk by construction sites and you see this, you just automatically go around because you don't want to start no trouble, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But when when you think about it, during the school hours, early morning hours, the kids are going to school, and there's traffic, people are going to work, there's, just minor chaos and sometimes other chaos going around. You don't need a kid deviating from his normal routine and running out into traffic and getting hit. And then all of a sudden, oh, I don't know what happened. I know what happened. You made the area unsafe, and you didn't have any care in the world for these people walking up and down the street because you put your machine on the very spot that they would need to walk to have safe passage. So now they had to go out their way into traffic, right, to get by your machine, while you sit there laughing and drink coffee with your boy. So, I could go on. I could go on, right? But I'm gonna stop there on that because bottom line is, man, right? These DPS or DPW workers, man, they don't care nothing about us in our neighborhood. If they did, they'd put the machines in the street where they belong. Think about that next time you pass one.
Are your kids getting enough art? Whether through poetry, dance, music, or drama, the arts open the doors to creativity. As a mother and teacher, I know that arts education can help our children develop confidence and a better understanding of the world around them. Even if you have just 30 minutes a week, get your kids more involved in the arts and think about the kind of world we can leave behind for our children and our children's children.
Art. Ask for more. AmericansForTheArts.org.
We're back. Thank you for staying. All right, so the second part of our second topic here on Boys Today. I was on Facebook, right? As I always, as I'm normally on Facebook, right? And this post came across. The post was about a teacher that had a fight with a student. I know, right? Your first thought is, these teachers need to stop hitting these kids. They're only kids. Well, let's take a good look at that. I'm going to put the video up here. I think it's on this side this time. Did I get it right? I'm going to put the video up there and you be the judge. Okay? Take a look at this video and you tell me. We'll be right back.
Halls of Carver High School in West Baltimore. A fight between a teacher and student caught on cell phone video. The teacher in this video is the woman wearing black pants and a gray top. You can hear her threaten to kill the female student, a 17-year-old senior. Another student tries to break it up, but the two continue fighting. It happened Friday. Parents at the school today with reaction.
I was totally shocked. I was shocked at the student, but most of all the teacher, the way she came back at the girl, because the teacher had a chance to walk away.
I'm appalled. I really feel some kind of way.
Nakia Jones is the student's aunt. She's seen the video too and is outraged over the teacher's behavior.
You're supposed to be a role model to these children, and you took your shoes off and physically was fighting her like you was outside on the street.
School officials say a verbal exchange between the teacher and student escalated to a physical confrontation. The student's family admits she possibly threw a book at the teacher and has been involved in previous fights. Still, for the family, there's outrage.
You send the best child you have to school. Now, she's maybe a problem child, maybe a good child, but you send the best you have. You don't expect nobody to fight her like that.
Yeah, she right here. That's who needs to be removed, right here. Jasmine Jones. No, somebody see it, but she walking past him.
Okay, I'm out to play today. I'm out to let me get my pen.
I think she, which grade you in? 11th grade? 11th grade.
I'm in bed.
All right.
Are you okay? Anybody get it? Anybody get it?
That's a teacher? Is it really? Tony, where's you going, boy? Tony, where's you going? Tony fucking crazy, yo. Oh, I want you to get into the basketball.
Okay, so you saw the video, right? What do you think about that? Okay, here's what I thought, right? When I first looked at the video, I'm like, wow, that really looks bad because the teacher, man, she broke down, you know what I mean, and she hit this kid. And you can't hit kids, man, for no reason, right? And then I started to think about that. I started to think about my thought. Because there's another stereotypical saying that just doesn't hold any weight and doesn't hold truth when you try to apply it to life, to real life. Like, you know, there's no reason under the sun or in the world that a man should hit a woman, right? So there's no reason in the world that a teacher should hit a kid. I'm going to call BS on both of those statements, and here's why. Well, the most obvious reason is that we're all human, and, you know, we lose our temper, all bets are off, right? But let's take a closer look at first the no man should put a hand on his woman. Let's tackle that one first, and I'm not gonna stay on it because it's a huge topic, but I'm just gonna say what I feel about that, right? You're right. In a perfect world, that can happen, okay? Maybe even back in the 60s when females were a bit more docile than they are now. See, but a female today will go toe-to-toe to you and probably win if you ain't on your guard. You know, they no longer fight like that. I mean, they go head up like this. You understand? And they know what they're doing. So that's number one. If you're a child, I can just do this. No, don't hit me, right? Most guys think if you're a female, if it's a female, you can do this. Oh, baby, stop. Or I'll just walk away. Yeah, you go ahead and try that. See, if females chase you, they walk behind you. And they don't be doing this. They be, you know what I mean? They be throwing it, man, right? So just because I want to be politically correct, you know, and have a lot of people like me, right? I'm supposed to sit on Facebook or somewhere else and say, oh, well, man never supposed to hit a woman, and he could have just walked away. He's a coward. He's a punk. No, I'm going to tell you the biggest thing. Don't get upset, okay? I'm going to tell you what it is, okay? A coward and a punk, right, as far as a man is concerned, is a guy that don't take care of their kids or don't want to date a female because she has kids. That's a coward and a punk, right? But a man that sits up and defends himself when a female wants to hit him, right? That's just a man defending himself. A man that's being aggressive towards a female is an asshole, and that's how that goes, right? So that's why that statement is a joke on that side. But let's talk about the teacher, right? Teachers by no way, shape, or form should put their hands on the student. I've never seen that other than when the teacher's breaking up a fight, coming up in this city. But then again, when we came up, we had a lot more respect for teachers, right? So today, teachers have it hard, man. I got a cousin that's a teacher. He went through some stuff, almost got banned because some little girl decided to make up a story because one day she woke up and didn't like him. You understand what I'm saying? This type of stuff, right? And I talk to other people that are in the school system, in the education system, and most of them don't want to teach in the inner city and I really hate to say that, but this is what they all say, in the inner city, in public schools, right? I went to the High School of Commerce. Never, ever did we ever think that there would ever be one cop coming to High School of Commerce unless they were doing some type of presentation. But I mean, on-duty cops inside the High School of Commerce is just like commonplace now. I can't understand that. I can't even fathom that. Do you understand? What do you need a cop for? Right? So they're telling me the schools have gotten that bad and Commerce is one of them. Well, all I know is this, is that I read time and time again how teachers are getting hurt. Few teachers have even gotten killed because these little bad-ass kids, yeah, I'm calling them bad-ass kids. If your kid is one of them, then you need to listen, okay? Man, these kids, man, they go to school and they think that, first of all, you got to respect them before they even show you any inkling of respect, right? And then when you do show them respect, then they'll decide whether or not they like you and they're going to respect you, right? But if they come in with a pissed off, they come in pissed off or they get mad at you and pissed off at you for some reason, they're going to throw a tantrum. And these are some big kids today, right? Some of them kids look down on you like that, like in this situation that I'm talking about, right? I mean, come on, man, right? How can I put this? So I don't offend a lot of people, but I'm just going to have to just stay real and be raw. And you can just be offended if you want to, all right? But you need to understand and recognize what you are sending to school. Do you understand? You need to know that your kid is at school trying to fight teachers. And their hands are tied because of the rule. But this one teacher that we're discussing today, I guess she has just had enough. It's not like she woke up that morning and said, I think I'm going to go and beat some student's ass. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like she said, one day I'm really going to give it to this student. No, man. You know what I mean? This little girl was having a bad day or whatever it was that brought her to the emotional state that she was, right? And then she started traumatizing or spazzing to the teacher. And now she's talking to the teacher like she the mother and the teacher's the child. Do you understand? There's no respect there. Teacher better do this, you better do that, B, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Like she on the block someday and we're talking to an adult. If we had ever talked to any adult like that when I was coming up, man, lip would be like, yeah. If we lived. You don't talk to no adults like that, but these kids today, they don't care about you. They don't care about your age. I mean, not all kids. I mean, sometimes I walk down the street and I get some brothers that I just look at and I say, man, these guys ain't going to respect me. But then I go past and say, what's up, OG? I mean, wow, man, that's big respect. I like that, right? But I would rather see that type of respect given to teachers, Because teachers don't make a lot of money, right? You couldn't get a babysitter to babysit your badass kid twice in a row. But teachers got to go there every day. And let's talk about your badass kids, right? Like I asked you earlier, think about what you send into school. Because if your little kid talks back to you, right? If you got to argue with your child to do something that you told your child to do, and you got to argue with them, what do you think is going to happen when that child don't want to do nothing the teacher says? Come on, man. You got to be better parents. You got to put the blunts down. I mean, I'm going to go stereotypical first. You got to put the blunts down. You got to come in from selling drugs and stay home one day and just, get in tune with your kids. But I ain't going to stop there because it ain't only them people. All right? You got some well-to-do people that think their kids are so great, but their kids are little assholes. You understand? You got some people that want to front like their kids are all great in front of people, and they don't want to discipline their kid in front of people while their kid just sits there and makes them look stupid as hell. You know what I mean? If you don't have parent skills, there are places for you to go to learn parental skills, right? If you're scared to pop your kid in the mouth if they swear in your presence or put a switch on their behind or a belt on their behind because DSS might come, then put your kids up for adoption. Because you ain't doing them no favors. You're not doing them no favors. You see, because here's the truth. We learn by correction. And if you're not correcting that child, how does that child know they're out of line? They think they're right. And they grow up thinking they're right. Then they get into junior high and high school, practically adults, right? And then they run into a teacher like this. Can't understand why the teacher doesn't think that they're right. So they throw a tantrum and they want to fight. Now they're big enough to cause bodily harm, great bodily harm. You understand? And then when the teacher defends herself or the teacher has had enough and just says, I don't care about this job no more, I'm going to knock this little kid in their mouth and show them that they're wrong. You're going to get on TV, on the news, and say you're outraged? I'm outraged at the way you raised this child. I'm outraged that you sent this child to school with that attitude, with that personality, with that demeanor. I'm outraged that you actually opened your mouth and fixed your mouth to condone the actions of this child. She attacked an adult. And now you think you're going to win some type of case and get some money? The only thing you should get is a good ass whooping. Really. I've been to people's houses, man, where I just wanted to take their kids and just pick them up by the neck and just throw them out the window. Or hang them out the window upside down until they wake up. Because kids are running the house today. There's people out here that have to argue with their kids, and their kids talk back to them, man, like they're talking to their boys or their girls on the street. They ain't got no respect for their mother and father. You know what I mean? A lot of you women out there, man, that think y'all could raise a child by yourself, and your badass child out here selling drugs, pants sagging, and not even that, right? They don't have to be selling drugs and the pants sagging, right? They could be in college, in school, whatever, but their attitude sucks. Why? Because you did it. You thought all that stuff was cute when they cussed out Aunt Jean. You know what I mean? At 3 or 4 years old, they told Aunt Jean where to go. So you thought that was cute and funny while y'all were drinking beer and all that kind of stuff. Come on, man. This is what you're raising today. This is what's out here today, right? Nah, man. I sat in these people's house, man, and I wanted to take that little person and just shake them, because you don't talk to adults like that. Kids don't teach us anything. A lot of you people like to see a kid say something intelligent, right? Oh, yeah, out of the mouth of babes. Thank you, Jesus. Let's put this in perspective, right? There are intelligent kids, and I ain't going to lie about that. But even those intelligent kids can't teach you nothing because they're still learning. How can a 7-year-old genius in Yale University or somewhere like that, hypothetically, right, teach me about life? What the hell can that little child teach me about life? I had an issue when they were trying to get Justin Bieber's career off the ground, whatever. I don't know what they were doing. And everything that he said was news. And then they're going to go to him for political advice? Think about that. Let that set in. They asked Justin Bieber for political advice, and then they went and ran with it. Let that set in. It sounds stupid, don't it? It sounds stupid, right? People, look, as an adult, okay, kids learn from us. And there's never a point where a kid has learned everything and you can't teach them nothing else. That's just what they think, right? You can always teach. Teaching never stops. Learning never stops. I learned today like I was a child yesterday. I get corrected every day. You know what I mean? Well, I'm going to end the show here, right? Because I can go on and on and on. I think you got the gist of what I'm talking about, right? I think you got that. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end the show here because if you don't spend time with your child, they're not going to respect you. They're going to respect those that have time to spend with them and share their world with them. If you're too busy smoking a blunt, or you're too busy working, right? Or you don't got no time. You know what I mean? When I was coming here to the studio, I was watching this. We go past the school, the Milton Bradley School, to get here to the studio. I'm walking, right? And I'm watching the little girl. She's a new mother, I guess. She's very young. And her child, I guess she just picked him up from Milton Bradley School. Child's way over here walking while she's talking on the phone. I'm thinking to myself, right? What could possibly be more important on that phone than walking with your child and asking them how their day was in school and discussing their day? I used to do that with my granddaughter. I couldn't wait till she got home so I could find out what happened, what's going on. It's like a soap opera, right? I had to find out what was going on with her and her friends every day and how her world was. And it was interesting to me. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, there was a billion other things I could have been doing. But when it came time to pay attention to my granddaughter, that's what happened. You understand what I'm saying? You won't catch my granddaughter going around here being all nasty with people because they're raised right. You know what I mean? And not just because they're my kids. There's plenty of people that have kids that are raised right with manners. But if you talk to those people, you will hear one common thing, is that those people spent time with their kids in their world. So if somebody says that to you, say, oh, I spent time with my kids, but your time spent with your child, it's either they're in the other room playing Mario while you on the damn phone talking to your girl or your man or whatever, you know what I mean, or in there smoking and rolling blunts and all that kind of stuff, or you out, you got to work, or you got to go to your second job. Fact of the matter is, if you're not spending time with your child, don't be surprised how your child grows up, okay, without you. Don't be surprised when the school calls and say, hey, we got your little monster here locked up. You need to come get him. Don't you be surprised. Don't you sit there and say, ugh, you know what I mean? The teacher was wrong, this, that, and the other. No, don't you do that. You sit there and roll up another damn blunt and you sit there and blame yourself and have fun doing it. Because when you put out that bad product goes out in the world and interacts with other people, and then while we have to put up with your bad product, trying to teach that bad product to be different. And they ain't respecting us. They don't want to hear it. You know what they want to do? They want to whoop our ass. I'm Nate Patterson, and this is Voice. Peace.